With food prices expected to increase by between 4 and 5% in the coming months, local food shelves are trying to prepare. The Bemidji Community Food Shelf has already served more than 5,000 families this year and more than 8,000 children. Lacey Monteleone visited the food shelf today to find out what impact rising costs will have on them. She's live in the studio with more. Lacey, what'd you find out?
Well, Dennis, Bill Byer, the board president at the Bemidji Food Shelf, says they are literally being squeezed on both sides, with food costs already rising and more people coming in to seek services. The food shelf here in Bemidji is seeing more and more people come through their doors. In July alone, they served 800 families.
That means 2,400 people receive 3 days of emergency food, or about 10 meals.
And that is all each family can receive each month. Byer says they are not capable of giving out food in anything besides an emergency capacity.
We can't become their supply of food, and because we can't afford it, first of all. It's not good for them, it's not good for us.
This is 18 pounds of food, representative of the 185,000 pounds of food the food shelf gave out last year in a 6-month period. This year, the food shelf gave out 240,000 pounds of food in the same amount of time, and they're worried that next year they'll see the same increase.
If it increases another 20–30% next year, it could be where we have to make some drastic changes in what we're able to give.
Rising food costs have forced them to already cut back on buying some items, like ground beef.
We've gone to ground turkey. We can get that a little bit cheaper. Chicken obviously is cheaper.
But the food shelf is already planning ahead for that becoming too expensive.
Then we need to be thinking in terms of protein and in terms of, well, if we can't afford meat, well, kidney beans or peanut butter or what other kinds of things we need to do. We're not at that point now.
For those at the food shelf, community is important.
I volunteer here because when my children were growing up, I used the food shelf in the cities quite a bit, and this is my way to pay back the service that I was provided.
Because hunger is not something that is only seen in large cities.
But I think it's important to realize that hunger is a local thing.
And just to give you some perspective, in just the last 2 days, the food shelf had about 130 families seeking emergency food assistance. The average family size the food shelf serves is nearly 4, so that's roughly 520 people served in only a 2-day time period. Dennis?
Okay, thank you, Lacey, for the live report tonight. The food shelf is hoping to move into a new location this fall. They say more space will allow them to not only better serve those who need assistance, but will also allow them to cut costs because they will be able to better store items purchased in bulk.
If you've enjoyed this segment of Lakeland News, please consider making a tax-deductible contribution to Lakeland Public Television.